He's such a funny boy.
You're so cute.
Thanks. I haven't even put makeup yet.
Uh-huh.
Oh!
Uh,
He tongued me.
it's
He tongued me. Hello!
Hello.
Welcome back. I'm gonna do a get ready with me with a dog licking my face. Wait. So the topic on look at this paw on my shoulder.
It's like, it's okay.
Hi guys, so today I feel like putting on some makeup, going absolutely nowhere but I still feel like doing it, so yeah. Oh, god damn! He's like, hey. Obviously right now it's a very crazy world to live in and we're all trying to do our best. Not all of us, but the better half of us are like trying our best to stay home as much as possible. You know, we're trying to find things to do, to occupy ourselves with, to enrich our lives. And so I was like, let's just put a lot of makeup on my face, you know? So that's what we're gonna do today, and I guess I'm just gonna sit and chat with y'all. And it would be remiss for me to sit here and pretend like that's not happening. I do want to talk about it. I think it's very important for us to process all of this together. And for some people also to really realize like the severity and how like different our lives are gonna be from now and from here on out. So yeah. No, how do you feel about that? He's grown so much. So Noodles, what do you feel? I see. Is that stressing you out? Alright. Thank you so much for your insight. Back to you, Brenda. Okay, bye-bye.
Kisses.
Oh. Oh. High five. Yeah, good boy. Okay. Don't distract me, you guys. I want to film the video. That's actually what I've been doing like the whole time. I had my puppy from like the last week of January, and that's also when like COVID started. Like I've just been a mom. And I love it. So before we get started, I would just like to point your attention to my jewelry. Now, I am not dressed to go nowhere. I'm in my pajamas. I'm not even wearing a freaking bra. I know at this time, a lot of people are working from home. A lot of people still have to go about their daily routines, but just at home and making all of these adjustments. And it's not easy. When I want to feel productive or when I want to feel like I'm ready and I'm not like in a sleep pajama mode, I don't necessarily turn to clothes or doing my hair or even makeup for that matter. Generally, I like to let my skin breathe. I also don't want to put too much heat on my hair, and for me, like clothes get restrictive. But the one surefire way to like pick myself up, to feel put together and to almost like feel beautiful also in like a very fuss-free kind of way is to put on like jewelry. So I'm just like looking in the mirror because I really love it. These are new. These are from Ana Luisa, and they actually sponsored this part of the video. So Ana Luisa is an online store selling jewelry. They have necklaces, rings, and earrings. I'm not wearing any now, but I have two separate necklaces here. I just love layering them. And I also have a band ring, which, oh, it's so beautiful. Their pieces are made with quality and sustainability in mind, so they are tarnish free, they're long lasting, and the gold jewelry in particular is made from recycled gold, which is really cool. As you guys probably know, like sustainability is huge for me. I like to look at the companies and what they're doing in order to feel comfortable like supporting their products. So I really appreciate how their metals are sourced, and I also appreciate that they said that their goal is to be carbon neutral, so essentially achieving a net zero carbon footprint by the end of 2020 and for the years to come. So I'm pretty sure that I like that. They came in very minimal packaging. I want to show y'all. This is the box that it came in to fit this box. You can totally reuse this. It's made out of really good quality, and then the jewelry comes in pouches like this that you can store pretty much anything. And the pieces on the side are so nice. They're so like contemporary but also classic. They have designs that are like really beautiful and really like hip right now, you know, like cool necklaces, but they will also last a long time, which is like what I would want. So this right here on the bottom, if you can see this like textured chain, I love it. It's such a cool look. It's this like opal-esque gem right in the middle. This necklace is called Rebecca. It's actually designed by Rebecca Leong, who is another YouTuber, and I followed her for a while, so I was like pretty excited about that. And this is called Vida, which is like a nice V necklace. So I really like these like small minimal designs because these essentially can do really well with like layering. You can wear it on its own, especially if you don't want anything too chunky or thick. Like I like my silhouette looking like sleek and polished here, so I don't have something quite as thin and delicate as this. And then my favorite, Oh damn, gotta love that ring. This like woven pattern, it's so beautiful and it's lightweight, it fits well. I think this is a size 6 or 7. So I'm really excited to have these. I feel like as I grow older, I don't want things that like turn a different color or start tarnishing like after like maybe 3 or 4 uses. These make me feel very comfortable, they make me feel very chic, and they make me feel very like ooh. And my favorite part is that these are actually quite affordable. There's no luxury markup, so prices start from like $39. And like I said, they also have real recycled gold, you know, so then the prices like go up from there, but there's something for everyone. You can sort of pick and choose, and they're all really cute. Mother's Day is also coming up, so if you want to get something for your mom and then get something for yourself, have a little matchy moment, it's also possible, okay? I think there is a discount code, like a 15% off, so I will list it down below. You can check the link in the description bar, and I will pin a comment so that y'all can see it. Okay, alright, let's talk about makeup because I'm getting so carried away by the jewelry. I ordered these like gems. I don't know if you can see from Shopee because I wanted to like, you know, do a little bit something more with my makeup. I just really like the look of gems. I think they really add like a pop to any eyeshadow look. And I also wanted to do something a little bit more dramatic today since I ain't going nowhere. So let's really look at some of the palettes I'll be using. Hey! I want to use this Fenty palette because it is like an eyeshadow slash highlighter transformative palette. And then I also want to use the Snap Shadows in number 8 because they have these like fun, colorful colors. And then I'm also pulling out this MILANI palette because it is so fun. I got this last year during like the holiday season, and I was really in love with like all of these fun colors that I never got to truly like use and play around with. Ooh, I'm excited. I have no idea what we're gonna do. As you can probably tell, I haven't done anything yet. I'm gonna do the base after. So let's do the eyes first, and let's talk about code. I'm gonna try my best not to get distracted because I think like talking about this is quite like emotionally taxing on all of us, and it's been something that I've been following for a while because I did plan to go to China to backpack in March this year. Obviously that's not happening. We're like already in April, right? And me and my friend, we were procrastinating, we didn't get the tickets, but when we started seeing that there was this like wet market like virus spreading, we were like, oh hang on, never go. But we didn't even anticipate that this would become a worldwide thing. We were just like, let's just not go to China, you know? And I think that is really a proof of like how far we've come, like how globalized we are. No matter how small you think Singapore is, like we are connected to like a bigger part of the world. Once hit like the other countries, we were one of the first to get hit also because we just have a lot of Chinese tourists. I still remember this like it was yesterday. First confirmed case, I was actually in Sentosa doing an ad. I was on assignment. We had 0 cases at that time, but we also knew to prepare ourselves like it was probably gonna happen because someone was gonna get infected. So we were on the Sky train like coming into Sentosa, and then this like Chinese national lady coughed next to me. I didn't like jump up or anything. I just like very quickly left the area and like wanted to exit lah. Even if it's the common cold and this COVID thing didn't exist, like I wouldn't want to sit next to someone who's like coughing and sneezing. That's just me. My friend was organizing like a food festival at Sentosa, so I just like stopped by to check out the food, to kind of do a little bit of reviewing for you guys on IG stories. And then suddenly he was like, hey, I have to like go and speak to someone, like hold on. And at that point we were leaving also, so we just like said, hey, it's okay, like you just talk whatever, just go do your thing, like we're gonna go. And then when me and my partner left, like we started looking, you know, on social media, and that's when we saw that the first case had hit Singapore, and that the first case was literally right next to where we were. Was it Rasa Sentosa? The one right next to Siloso Beach, which was where we were like the entire day. And I like immediately like thought back about the lady who coughed. Both of us started having like a sore throat and like slight like flu after, and both of us like freaked out. We didn't have a fever or anything, but we still like quarantined ourselves. Like we just stayed at home and we didn't go out. And after a while, like it left. So you know how like when you're at Sentosa and you play and you're like dehydrated, maybe you just like get a cold or a sickness. But it's really scary, especially when no one really knows how to deal with this thing. Like it's so uncertain. The Chinese government at that point was accused of allegedly underreporting and like keeping a lot of things under wraps, and there's a lot of like fear, like rampant, and we just like didn't know what to do because, you know, we haven't even seen like Singapore's response yet. So following that, as you see in the months, like I was really impressed. When I saw the first statement that Mr. Lee Hsien Loong like made, right, to address the public, he was like, we're prepared, like we've got this, you know, we have been prepared, we've had a protocol like since the SARS attack, you know. I'm paraphrasing lah, but he was like, we're ready, you know, we have a plan, don't worry. Because their response was really swift and it was really good. Imagine contact tracing every single person you've come into contact with for one person every single time, and their context. I'm very much on social media and I can see a lot of responses. I have people talking to me about it and I kept very up to date with all of the news. But I know that I don't have the full story and I don't have like every piece of information. But from what I could see, it was just really, really swift and fast response. And I felt like the fear and the paranoia like really peaked in like early February, and then people started getting bored like of being at home, especially when there weren't as many new cases as you would think, because you're like, I don't know what's happening. Like, it takes 2 weeks, it doesn't show symptoms, you know. I saw the staff at NTUC like putting back the things at like 4 a.m. when it was like really a mess. I've seen like kindness come out of it. I've seen hatred come out of it. I've seen tension. I've seen like really ugly parts about people like hoarding and stuff. Kind people like donating supplies and like, you know, thanking the frontline workers. You see a real spectrum of actions, from being completely selfless to being completely selfish and to being very, very entitled. In times of crisis, like true human nature comes out. And I'm not gonna lie, like it's a very bittersweet moment. And I myself realized that I have been taking my normal life, my normal routine very much for granted. I think a lot of people do feel the same way. I also think that I have taken like Singapore's safety and our quick response to everything, like our efficiency, very much for granted. But at times like this, when you really do see the government step up with the resilience budget, I don't think they've taken that much money out since the 2008 recession, and I think it's even more than that, and that's crazy. The government is literally giving money out to every single Singaporean aged 21 and above, and you still hear people complaining about it, that it's not enough, that you have to do something to get it. Like, it's just wow. I have this whole series of like really ridiculous comments that boomers especially and some like Gen Xers have made on Facebook posts. Oh my god, Facebook comments are one of the most toxic places you will ever find. They're just not very bright people who are very self-righteous, who want to go off because they think that they're entitled to a lot more than they actually are. It's just crazy to me, because if you really look outside of Singapore and you look at the entire world, I personally have like friends and family in New York who are quarantined, who don't leave the house, who get really stressed out and have to do like a very quick grocery run. And when I asked my best friend about it, I was like, how are y'all doing? She was like, it's fine, like we have enough food, but they're afraid of like racist attacks, because that's what's been happening. People have just been bullying and assaulting Chinese people just on the road because they seem to think it's the Chinese virus. And that's what I mean when I say like you really do see true ugliness in character when something like that comes out. You see people who want to take advantage of the situation, opportunistic people who want to hoard and who want to hopefully monopolize on things that are essentials that people really want and really need, like masks, hand sanitizers, even instant noodles, you know what I mean, in order to turn a profit and to sell them at a much higher amount. And you do see a lot of selfish behavior. You see people fighting over toilet paper. I mean, I don't have to tell you these. You've probably seen all of the articles that I've seen, and you've seen all the memes, you've seen all the viral photos. It's just like a really crazy world to live in right now. And I know we're not nearly as affected by anyone else, but we are slowly sort of reaching there because people are not being socially responsible. People are not staying home. Someone close to me was like, let's just go out for ramen lah. Like, what? Come on. You've seen all of like the flatten the curve things, right? It's so important now more than ever to practice social responsibility and to just, you know, grit your teeth, suck it up and stay home for a bit. This virus will go away if none of us are out there to contract it. You know what I mean? And I think this complacency that some Singaporeans have in like, I'm not gonna catch it or whatever lah. I mean, government's like treating it for free, what? Yes, hospital bills, healthcare, if you get COVID, is free in Singapore for Singaporean citizens right now. Other than the countries that actually give like universal healthcare, like I don't know any other country who's doing that, and still we get people complaining. I nearly went into politics. I don't know if y'all know this, but I was supposed to major in political science, and I did an internship at the People's Association, and the member of parliament, the MP, herself in my like constituency asked me to join politics because she was like, I think you'll make a good fit. And I am so glad that I didn't, because if I have to work my ass off, if I'm crying in parliament because I can't help my feelings and I'm like working so hard and I'm so stressed. Yes, I'm talking about Lawrence. Well, oh my god, bless his heart, he was such a sweetie. Like, if I have to work so hard to do all these contact tracing to people who are irresponsible, who really don't give a shit how much work that people are doing, like, these are also people, these are also Singaporeans who are working to save your asses, to continue to be like, oh, I'm not gonna vote for you, this is just for the election, or oh, why you give so little money, oh, why do I have to queue up, oh, it's gonna spread anyway, and then you yourself queue up for like bubble tea. It's just a very hypocritical, like, very vicious cycle that like Facebook comments. If you're watching my videos, you probably agree with me and you're probably feeling as frustrated, so I'm gonna just like stop here. If you want to see like the full extent of me talking about it, then I can link to my Instagram, but I'm just gonna like, cause like it's making me stressed out, man. Oh my god. There are people dying out there. I feel like freaking, what's her name? Kourtney Kardashian. Kim lost her diamond earring. She's like, I lost my diamond earring. And she's like, Kim, there are people dying in this world. Bro, like, let's get some perspective. The privilege of being a Singaporean right now is so unbelievably real. The privilege of boredom is real. To be able to even stay home is already a privilege, because there are still people who have to work for these essential services to essentially make your lives like easier. And we live in a day and age where we can just call our loved ones, we can have Zoom meetings, you know, we can really actually see them face to face, and we can also do online shopping for most, if not everything. We can order food and we don't actually have to leave the house. You know that we can even like call doctors and have like online like diagnosis, right? Obviously if you have the virus, no lah, but just for like cold, cough, that kind of thing. Having the internet, watching this video, privilege. I'm going to use some concealer. I've been really feeling like a cut crease lately, so I'm just gonna do that. I cannot be angry doing this. Don't wanna fuck it up. It's just kind of ironic to me that the same people that are complaining about all of these things are the same people queuing outside, and the same people that were like, lockdown lah, why you don't want lockdown? We're already in crisis, why you don't want lockdown? That's the thing, I don't know if it's old age that's making these people so bitter, or it's just like an unchecked habit of blaming everyone else instead of yourself for whatever situation you're in. Yes, like welfare could always be improved upon, like we could always look at policies and always try to make them better, but there is no point at this time to nitpick on every initiative or any action the government makes, because nothing is gonna make them happy. And it's just very ironic that they're so hypocritical that they go back on their word like all the time. Moving aside from this, let's talk about like the real silver linings that I've learned from having to live under like COVID times. This shit better only happen once in a lifetime. First of all, is hygiene. I really enjoy seeing everybody in public spaces because I am so like germophobic and paranoid in general. I like that everyone is actually taking hygiene very seriously. I like seeing people wash their hands. Oh, you know, I wish they did this all the time, but you know, sometimes in Singapore public toilets, I don't know why, there are some people that will just come out of the toilets and not even go and rinse their hands. And a lot of the times, like, soap is either really watered down or then not even there anymore, like you press and nothing comes out. And you know, it's just kind of like janky and weird in general, but now everything is stocked and like you always get enough soap and like everyone's all scrubbing their hands, and it's just very nice to see that. I haven't seen it in a while because, you know, that was something that I was noticing in like February. I'm still happy just thinking about it, being responsible. I really do believe that it could have gotten way worse if we didn't really stress this to the people, like, hey, please wash your hands. Like, don't just wear a mask and think you're invincible. Like, you have to wash your hands, keep yourself clean, don't anyhow touch surfaces, like that kind of thing. So I was really glad to see like people actually taking this into account. Secondly, I was really glad to see the amount of kindness in people. It's been really like heartening. So some people do say like Twitter is very toxic and people get very angry, and yeah, like there were a lot of these things, but I also really did enjoy seeing like nice memes. I love seeing like heartwarming stories, people in Italy like working out from their balconies, and the fitness instructor was just on his rooftop like leading it, you know, like things like that that just remind me that like humanity is still good on the inside for the most part. Seeing how hard the healthcare workers were working and people thanking them and people taking care of each other, people buying each other groceries. There was an immigrant in Italy that like had a fruit stall and just started giving away free fruit and was like, you know, you invited me into your country, so like I would like to pay it back. And things like that just like, you know, feed your soul when you really need it the most. I follow this particular account called Upworthy, and it's just really nice. And usually like I've already seen the stories on Twitter, but it's nice to see them again. It really is. I don't mind a little repeat. Also, another thing is I feel a little vindicated because as you guys are staying home right now and you are looking at your 10th like Netflix show and listening to music to sleep, painting, drawing, I do hope that people realize the importance of the arts and just remembering that in times of crisis, like you turned to artists. All my life, I've always been interested in the arts. I love music, I love painting, I love like fine arts, I love theatre, I love lit. Like I am just a very artsy person and I've gotten so much flack for it my entire life. I've been laughed at for being called useless, you know, I've been like, oh, what am I gonna do, be a road sweeper, like that kind of thing my whole life. Even when I was in really good schools, like, you know, in school they always play this stupid game where it's like, oh, if you need to start a civilization, like which 10 people would you take? And they never ever take the musician or the artist, and I'm the only person that would, and I always have to fight for them being in there. And you know, this is not just a hypothetical situation, it translates into our self-worth as artists also. A lot of people, especially Singaporeans, either view art as being exclusive or something that's just not necessary. It doesn't ever go beyond like a co-curricular activity or just to make a kid seem more well-rounded. Pursuing the arts is not an easy thing to do in Singapore. To succeed in it is even harder. Artists and art students especially are so prone to being disrespected. And this ends up perpetuating a very vicious cycle of us feeling like we don't deserve to ask for money, people not giving us money to be paid for it, and then we just end up like being broke and like, but like never mind, we love art, and then people are like, oh, artists are just like broke assholes. Like to me, like art has always invigorated me in ways that math and science could never. And I just feel like pursuing the arts, whether it's performative or whether it's literary or fine arts even, is as respectable and noble a vocation as something that someone could do, let's say in engineering or in accounting. Oh, another thing that I realized that I'm a little bit more grateful for is that people tend to be more kind right now. I haven't spoken to so many strangers in Singapore in my life until like COVID really started happening. I think a lot of people just feel more comfortable like talking to check in with each other and making sure that everything is okay. I like that spirit of like togetherness. I like acknowledging the service staff and being like, hey, thank you so much for doing this. And even something as simple as a smile. A couple of weeks back when I was walking the dog, like I just smiled at a couple of the cleaners who were cleaning up, and usually I wouldn't. I was just like very touched on that they're still doing this in the middle of the night, and like they're obviously not getting paid huge amounts for it. They're just doing their jobs. And I think like the both of them, they didn't expect me to smile and they just sort of smiled back, and I could feel like both of our spirits were lifted at that moment. And I think it's just so important right now to acknowledge the people around you and to acknowledge the service that you are getting from people who are serving you, you know, to be really grateful about the situation, which I guess is why at the end of the day, like I am so frustrated with people who are ungrateful, who feel entitled and feel like they still want to stir and create a lot of trouble in this time, because we are under like a global crisis. This is a war that cannot be seen. So when you walk outside, you're literally walking into a bloodbath. When you complain that the government doesn't give you enough money, it's really like holding out your hand and being like, hey, where's my money? Like literally when people are dying around you. It's just so tactless, especially when the next person behind you like needs this money the most and you're just here like bargaining for more. You know what I mean? It's just like a ridiculous thing for me to like fathom. And yeah, like I said, the last thing that I am super grateful for is our government. I have never ever spoken so well of the government, like so passionately before. I was born and raised in Singapore, right? But I'm just not that kind of person that would show up at NDP and like wear all red and just be like, yeah, Singapore. Like I'm not that patriotic of a person like openly. Like I appreciate what Singapore has. There are things that I would like for us to move in direction towards, but at this point, like when it really counts, I think Singapore is doing a really great job. Prior to COVID, I'd actually planned a trip to go back to New York. I'm devastated that I don't get to go back. And like spinning off from that, I'm above all just very disappointed with what's happening this year. You know, we've really not caught a break. COVID was already sort of brewing from December, right? That's why it's called COVID. COVID-19, and then, you know, Kobe Bryant, and then with the Australian bushfires, and it was just really like non-stop tragedy. All of my plans, all of my expectations for this year to make it like the best year ever, 2020, it's like completely gone. I don't have any expectations. I just hope to make it out of this year with my loved ones and myself intact, alive, doing okay, surviving. And it's just, wow, it's just like a really different like mindset to put yourself in after like really gearing up for it for so much. And that New York trip was actually also to toy with the idea of migrating. Maybe I wouldn't permanently become a US citizen, but I wouldn't mind like living there for a couple of years and working there. New York's energy like matched mine a lot better because I felt like I could possibly get a better like creative career out of New York rather than here, because resources and opportunities, the variety is very limited here. Yeah, it's just a small country, I don't blame it. So that was actually in my plans, but now seeing Trump, seeing how the US is handling it, and seeing us, I think not. How do I feel about the eyes? I don't know how I feel about the eyes. Maybe I just want to do a little bit more. I hope that wasn't too boring or too negative. I just have a lot of feelings about it. And this is really like all I can think about now because it's affecting our daily lives like every waking moment. I've also expressed on my stories like why I feel like at this time it's particularly difficult for me. I live alone, so I don't get to see my family, which in itself is a very double-edged sword because I have to worry about them from afar and I have to check in on them. And if you know anything about Asian parents, they're always like, we're fine, even if they're not. So I never know if they're actually fine or not. But at the same time, it's not too claustrophobic. I have my own space. I have my peace and quiet. And I also won't be able like to fight with my siblings. I know stuff like that. But at the same time, like for me, because I am so isolated and I am so paranoid and I have a history of like depressive episodes and anxiety, yeah, I'm stressed out. And like I said, because we had a scare like late January and then we were being so cautious about it the whole of February, me and my partner were staying together like almost, yeah, every single day for like a month plus. And hi. Oh, he's a whiny boy. He's right outside the door. He's like, hi, darling. Hi, puppy bear. Oh, he's like, Mom.
Come on, why are you taking so long?
Oh. Oh my god, he's really been like such a lifesaver at this time. Okay, you wait for me a little while more, okay? Okay, Mama want to finish already. Why, you want eyeshadow? Okay, beautiful. Beautiful. Good job.
Good job. Okay, say bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Okay, gotta bring him out. I'm so distracted. Okay, this look will tie in together, you know, once I put the eyeliner and everything. Don't worry about it. Like I said, because me and my partner were staying together for a month and a half, like non-stop. Obviously, when you live with someone new, no matter how much you're in love, after a while, you start to notice there are things that you're like not really okay with, and there are just things that you disagree on, even though both people think that they're correct. It can be true, you know, in a situation, two things can be correct at the same time, especially when both perspectives are equally valid. We, for the most part, can communicate, but there's this one particular hurdle that we just cannot seem to get through. All of our fights stem from it, just because like we are not able to get through this, and because it's an old problem, right, it just keeps coming up, and every time it comes up again, like we both feel more emotional and more stressed about it. So at that point, I was like, I think you need to go home, like especially with this lockdown thing, you know, like she's not with her family, and like I really didn't know if I could stand like fighting on a daily basis over small things like in my own home when I just like am already so stressed and so anxious and I just want to like sit down and chill. Yeah, so then she did go home, okay, and I was miserable. And then with the circuit breaker or like the soft lockdown, like it approaching, like we talked about it, and you're angry for like a day, and then at the end of the day, like you realize you really love each other and you want to talk things out. And so we did talk things out, and we were like, you know what, maybe let's just take a break for a month. The next day I was like, oh, fucking sucks, like I can't see you for a month, I'm alone, and I'm obviously not coping well with the situation. So after like talking it out with my partner, we decided that she's gonna move in for this month of like lockdown, and we're gonna just like work things out together because we have like enough groceries to keep us both alive for like a month. Wait, now let me just do this eyeliner real quick. Oh my god, I cannot talk doing eyeliner. And honestly, Nunu was like really missing her. The whole day he was like looking around the house, like barking, like just waiting, because Mavis is always like sleeping there and he's just like waiting for her to come out. It was just like so sad, and I was like, why are we doing this? Like, we're in an invisible war. The last thing I want to do is fight with my boo. So I was like, come back. And so yeah, we're gonna be staying together for a month. It's gonna be great, okay? And by the way, it was so nice for everyone to be like, oh my god, like so happy for y'all too, you know, like you guys are like so cute, whatever. And I was like, thank you so much. And you know what? I'm gonna talk about this in another video, but I came out to my mom and my mom was so supportive. And Mavis's mom is really supportive also. Like, they're just both really nice. They keep giving us food and it's just like such a blessing in disguise, you know, like really such a huge silver lining to this entire thing. Like, I wouldn't at this time especially want to have an altercation or conflict with my parents because I'm in a relationship that they're fundamentally disapproving of, you know? It's such a relief. I am really, really happy, especially with my mom, who's been like such an MVP. And I thought that she wasn't someone that I would ever want to like talk about my feelings with, but it's been really different and it's been really refreshing. And the thing that started it all really was just my willingness to talk to her and to open up about it first. Because it's very difficult, I think, to expect like our parents to open up now. Oh, I'm quite happy with this eye look. It's not bad. I'm gonna do a separate video about this. Hopefully Mavis is also gonna be on the video, but we're just basically gonna talk about like, you know, how we figured it out. We were gay, how we came out, and like navigating around this space of queerness in a country that, you know, has done very well in terms of like response, but has also in the midst, like very quietly but sneakily, like smacked down the suggestion to repeal a law that essentially criminalizes consensual sex between two adult men. We have a lot to talk about over there. I also hope that you guys will continue to stay tuned. I know that it's a crazy world out there, but I'm gonna try my best to like make more videos. There will be videos every single week. The videos will be up either Saturday or Sunday, and there might be bonus videos on Wednesday. Wow, the sun. Whoa. Enough of like wallowing in why is this not my year? I had such high hopes for this sort of thing. I'm just kicking things into high gear on my own and I really like don't care anymore. You know, I just want to be creative. I want to push out as many things as possible, especially when I'm seeing a lot of messages of y'all being like, hey, I'm really enjoying your videos, like thank you for them, like please keep them coming. I feel renewed, you know, with a sense of vigor to make better videos for y'all and to make things that matter at this point. Talking about my community, like the LGBTQIA plus community, is like quite important also because like, you know, these things are getting swept under the rug like very quickly in the midst of like nothing else matters. But you know what, life is still going on. Life is not stopping for nobody, and we still need to like do what we would usually do outside in here. Ooh, this foundation is nice. Okay, this is new. It's from MILANI. I just got it yesterday, so I think it's new, but I don't know, maybe it's not new. See? I don't know if you can see, but it's like deep-seated like stress pimples coming up. Eyebrows. Let's use a cheap-ass eyebrow. This is still good though, hey. Etude House eyebrows. And guys, I'm also done with my declutter, and you know what that means? It means we're ready to pack the grab bags now. I'm gonna leave a link down below. If you want to get the grab bags, you can fill in that form. We did one in 2018. I had so much fun and you guys were like really happy with your bags. So I'm gonna do like 2 sizes this time round. We're gonna do standard, so $50 for a combined value of $100 worth of things, and then a jumbo, which is $80, or is it 85? Okay, I think I added in postage, so it's 55 and 85, I think. The 85 one will have a combined value of $200. I wanted to do the jumbo so that I could add in like luxury items without it being like the only thing inside the bag, you know? So there are very limited amounts. Last year, I think we did only like 50. There might be a little bit more this time around, but all 50 was sold out within a day. So if you want to get them, like, you should probably fill in the form like ASAP. But something new I'm doing this year is that I'm actually gonna film the process of packing these bags so y'all can actually see what goes on in everyone's bags. It's pretty exciting. I won't review names or like addresses or anything crazy like that. It's just like, you know, packing different like bags for different people, and then we can see like how someone's style changes from someone else and like what they would like. I think it'll be really cool. I hope you guys will enjoy it, even if you don't like sign up for a grab bag. I think it'll be really, really cool. Just like dusting it with a little bit of powder. This Innisfree powder is $6 and still so good. I love it. I started the video out being really sad, but you know, wearing this jewelry and like having a little bit of makeup on my face makes me feel so much better. and just like talking about future plans. You know, it's very important to have future plans now. I have a small list of things that I want to do the moment like we are done with this thing. I think I will be dancing on the streets. We're definitely having a picnic. I'm bringing Nunu to the beach because now he's vaccinated and he's ready. And so all of y'all that have been asking, oh my god, can we have a doggy play date? Yes, please slide into my DMs. We can make it happen. And I'm just like so excited for the future. When this is all over, it will truly be like a very beautiful moment. I think everyone will be rejoicing. How do you feel about the makeup? I don't hate it, you guys. I don't hate it. Just bronzing up a little bit. I'm not even like doing anything crazy. Just pretending that I have some sun on my face. I am going to do a light dusting of blush. Ooh, I'm gonna use the Charlotte Tilbury. I got a new package from Charlotte Tilbury. It's my first ever package from CT, so I'm very excited. This is the Cheek to Chic in First Love. It's actually perfect because it's a little cool toned. I feel great already. Also coming your way is a recipes of the week. So I'm not going grocery shopping and I'm using what I have in my kitchen, my pantry. I think these are things that are quite normal. I think most people have these things in their pantry, and these are things that I will cook even when I'm not under quarantine. Like it's just a go-to quick meal, fun time, or like trying out different recipes kind of thing. So I thought it might be fun. You guys have been asking me for a while now to do like cooking videos, and I've been meaning to for a while. Now's finally the time because y'all, I got my boo to shoot for me, which is so much of a big help. Like I really love her. Oh my god. I was really going back and forth on this, but I'm gonna use the Can Make like Tinted Lip Balm. See, it's simple. You can build it up, you can shear it down, and it's very comfortable on the lips. And I'm not gonna do my hair because I'm not gonna add extra heat to it for nothing. I'm not going out to see nobody. Ooh, I feel cute. Oh, wait. Let's do a little highlighter. This is also such a nice color. What happens if I just dab it right here? Ooh, check out that extra pop. You see it? Woo! This is my final look. I want to talk about a lot of things. Like this video has been going on for 2 hours now, but I also want to talk about like how you can cope with this time and what I'm doing. But maybe I will, you know, put that in another video. I will leave a couple of resources down below, stuff that I found really helpful in case you want to manage your stress and anxiety at this time. And I hope you guys are doing okay. Hope you guys are doing well. I send all of my love and my good vibes to you guys. Let's all stay home together and chill out. Alright, I'll see you guys really soon. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and also subscribe to my channel. I make new videos twice a week, probably, at least once. So if you want to stay tuned, don't forget to click the bell so you'll be notified when I make a new video, and I will see you guys in my next one. I do this all the time now. It's not even ironic anymore. It's just like, yeah, this is like less intense than this, or like, alright. I did this entire makeup look inspired by these gems and I forgot to use them. Seems about right.